Special roles and responsibilities of judges, prosecutors, and officers of the state under the ABA rules. Issues arise when a government lawyer switches sides and joins an opposing private law firm. The lawyer may have confidential and sensitive knowledge of the case, and it would be unfair to the government for this inside knowledge to be available to the opposing side. On the other hand, the lawyer must have the right to change jobs and work in private practice if he wishes. As well as the regular conflict rules, there are federal and state regulation to address these situations. The most significant is the personal and substantial rule. When a lawyer is working personally on matters and such work is substantial, i.e. it's not trivial, the lawyer is restricted from interviewing with an opposing private law firm involved in the same matters, and when joining private practice, cannot take cases involving the same matters. In fact, the whole private law firm the lawyer joins is disqualified from taking a case involving these matters that the attorney worked on in a personal and substantial way. There is a screening exception that enables other lawyers in the private firm to work on these matters if the recruited government lawyer is screened off, written notice is provided to the government, and the government lawyer, the previous government lawyer, earns no fees and no share of fees from the case. The personal and substantial rule applies in the opposite direction and restricts private lawyers joining the government and working on the same matters from the other side of the docket. Judges are subject to specific rules, and the American Bar Association's Code of Judicial Conduct has been adopted by several states. It is important for the judge to act with impartiality and integrity. So the judge should not allow interference with her impartiality from family, friends, and other personal contacts. The judge is, of course, not restricted from socializing with friends and joining clubs, but membership of a discriminatory organization would interfere with the judge's impartiality and integrity. The judge has a duty to disqualify herself from a case when her impartiality can be reasonably questioned. The impartiality can be the result of bias, prior knowledge, prior involvement, and any form of personal or financial interest. The judge has a duty to disclose such interest and disqualify herself from the case when her impartiality can be reasonably questioned. However, there is an exception, and necessity trumps disqualification. When the judge is necessary for the case, this can override the concerns about impartiality. Similar rules apply to those of government prosecutors when a judge switches to private practice. The judge turned private practice lawyer is restricted from working on cases or matters where she had a personal and substantial involvement in her prior position as a judge. The screening exception can be used to prevent disqualification of the whole firm. The prior judge must be screened from the matter, notice provided to the other side, and the prior judge cannot share in any legal fees generated from this particular case. Prosecutors and government lawyers are required to respect the constitutional and other rights of the accused. The Fourth Amendment requires probable cause before an individual can be arrested. The Fifth Amendment provides the accused with the right to remain silent. The Sixth Amendment provides the right to counsel. The various privilege laws must also be respected, preventing the government from subpoenaing information protected by the client-attorney privilege or another valid privilege. In a departure from private civil case rules, state prosecutors have a duty to disclose evidence that could support the case of the defendant or may mitigate punishment. The prosecutors and government attorneys are restricted from making public statements carrying a substantial likelihood of raising public condemnation of the accused defendant in a criminal case, and must take reasonable steps to prevent such statements from police or other government staff.